What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and if you've been at my channel for a while, you know I've made a bunch of different videos in regards to farming XP, and one question I get in a lot of those videos is why haven't I highlighted an XP farm that is in the summit that is by far one of the best ways to gain XP in a really short amount of time? And honestly, I do not have an answer. I don't know why I haven't done that, and with the apparel event going on as well as the global event, now happens to be the perfect time, in my opinion, to hit up the summit, use that farming method, so that's exactly what I wanted to show you today. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. Make sure you turn on those notifications. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. And remember, we are currently having a giveaway for a PlayStation 5. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced on October 2nd of this year. Now, there happen to be a lot of details I'm going to go over in this video, and one thing I want to make sure I mention as I start this thing off is last week I put out a video on how to get the bighorn using a floor 10 farming method in the summit that's similar to this. However, that has to do with exotics and this has to do with XP, and to be clear, they are two totally different methods. Now, at the end of the video, I'll go over the differences between the two, but right now we're just going to focus on farming XP. So first of all, this takes place on floor 10. However, unlike the bighorn farm, for this you need to be on a specific floor 10 layout for it to work. Now that means two things. First of all, you need to get yourself to floor 10. So if you happen to be, let's say, on floor 1, I suggest just setting your difficulty to normal. You can fly up to floor 10 within, 20 minutes if that. And if you happen to be at a higher floor, you're going to need to reset your checkpoints, which you can do anytime in the game. So all you need to do is go to the elevator in the lobby. You can see at the bottom of the screen, reset checkpoints. You hit that. That will put you back at floor 1. And at that point, just get yourself to floor 10. Now, once you do get to floor 10, let's say you do that on normal difficulty, you're going to want to fast travel back to the lobby and choose a difficulty that you want to farm on. Now, obviously, as most of you know by now, the higher the difficulty and the more directives you have active equals more XP. So just to give you a baseline, I'm going to do this on heroic difficulty with 4 directives. Now, for those of you that may not be able to do this on heroic, at the end of the video, I'll show you a few runs on challenging to give you an idea of the type of XP you can earn. However, I strongly recommend during this global event, try to up the difficulty, because when you get the golden bullet, your character is going to be incredibly strong, so now is a perfect time to try it out. So going back to something I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this farming method is only going to work on a specific floor 10, and this is not it. So at this point, if you get to a floor, and I'll show you obviously the one you want to get to, but if you get to a floor that's not the correct one, all you do is fast travel back to the lobby. Now with that being said, it may take you 3 or 4 attempts to get to the correct floor. I mean, for me, I tried like 4 or 5 times, it didn't work. I actually logged out of the game, logged back in, and then it worked. And some of you may get it on the first attempt, but again, do not try this unless you're on the right floor, because otherwise you will be wasting your time. So the floor layout that you see here is exactly what you're looking for, and once you get here, you're totally good to go. Now all you need to do is completely and totally clear the floor, and once you do that, you're going to down your character and then just refarm this spot over and over again. Now, one of the benefits about farming the same location over and over again is the fact that you learn the layout of the floor, and not only that, you learn the timing of the NPC, because they only happen to spawn one of a few ways. And once you get that down, you are able to clear this floor in typically under a minute. And depending on what difficulty you've chosen and how many directives you have active, you will see how quickly that XP can stack up. So you see here on heroic with 4 directives, I'm getting about 370,000 XP, and actually when you add in all the NPCs that you take out, it's probably going to be closer to 400,000 XP in under a minute of gameplay. Now at this point, you have to down your character, and once again, to be clear, you cannot fast travel back to the lobby, because if you do so, when you load back into the game, you will be put at floor 11, and that defeats the purpose. This XP farm only works on floor 10. Now the best way to down your character is just to equip the sticky bomb, aim it at the floor, detonate it, and then you should pretty much be good to go, and if you don't have the sticky bomb equipped, you can switch to it once the floor is clear. I mean, let's say if you want to run with 2 different skills and not the sticky bomb, you can do that. So again, once it's detonated, your character is downed, all you do is respawn, and at that point, you're loaded back into the elevator at floor 10, and like I said before, before you just keep farming the spot over and over. Now, one important detail that I want to make sure I pass along is that you're only going to respawn at the floor 10 elevator during your current session. And what I mean by that is, let's say if you stop playing or you go back to the open world, once you come back to the summit, you're going to be put at floor 11, which means you'll then need to go back to floor 1 and make your way up to floor 10. Now again, that's not a big deal, but typically what I do is if I'm going to farm this spot, I'd take a good hour and a half and just hit this spot up non-stop, stack that XP, earn those stars, and then decide if I want to keep going or take a break. And the only reason I bring up the importance of that is because last week's video I talked about with the Bighorn farm, do not clear the floor, make sure you take out the boss and then fast travel back to the lobby. This, my friends, is the polar opposite. You want to clear the floor entirely, take out your character, and refarm floor 10. Most of you know by now that there are no shortages of ways to farm for XP in the game. I mean, one thing I've highlighted in multiple videos in the past is hitting up territory controls in the open world because they're stationary. It's not like it's a convoy moving around, and you can get through them pretty quick and once again stack that XP. But what's really beneficial about the summit is that you can choose to have up to 10 directives active when you're doing this thing. Now, typically I'll run with 6 or 7. I'll show you some footage of that at the end of the video. But again, regardless of your difficulty or directives, this is a very efficient way to earn XP in a very short amount of time. With all that being said, my friends, I want to take a moment as always and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel, and remind you, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know in the section down below and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Now, the footage you're seeing here is my running this on challenging difficulty with 7 directives, and that's going to get you about the same amount of XP that you would earn if you were to do this on heroic with 4 directives. So once again, if you're struggling on heroic, just drop the difficulty, add a few more directives, and you should be good to go. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Serious trauma detected. Agent vital signs 0.